A forbidden romance with my maid that I couldn't resist. I never planned for it to happen. Life in my big, quiet house had always been routine. I worked, I came home, I ate, I slept. That was it. The silence used to comfort me, but over time it began to feel heavy, like walls closing in. She entered my life quietly, without fanfare, just someone hired to help with the house. A maid, nothing more. At least, that's what I told myself. But the heart rarely obeys the rules of reason. At first, it was simple. She cleaned, organized, did laundry. She moved through the house with a kind of grace I wasn't expecting. Her presence brought warmth into a home that had long grown cold. I found myself noticing little things, her laughter when she dropped something by mistake, the way she hummed softly to herself while dusting shelves, the way sunlight seemed to follow her around. I tried to ignore it. She was my employee, after all. Lines weren't meant to be crossed. Yet every day, those lines blurred a little more. One evening, after a long day at work, I came home tired, drained, and ready to collapse into bed. She was in the kitchen, quietly washing dishes. I stood there, watching her hands move under the running water, the rhythm almost hypnotic. She turned and caught me looking. For a moment, neither of us said anything. Then she smiled, shy, uncertain, but warm enough to melt something in me. "You're home early," she said softly. I nodded. Yeah. I guess I wanted to be home. Those words carried more weight than I intended. I wasn't just coming back to a house, I was coming back to her presence. From then on, things changed. Slowly, subtly. She started leaving little touches of care for me, my coffee just the way I liked it, a folded blanket on the couch, lights dimmed perfectly when I returned late. It wasn't her job. It was her kindness, her attention, her way of saying I see you. And I noticed her too. The way her eyes lingered when I loosened my tie, the way she flushed if our hands brushed while passing something. Small sparks that grew into a quiet fire neither of us dared acknowledge aloud. One rainy night, the storm outside matched the storm inside me. I couldn't concentrate on anything. She had finished her work and was about to leave when I asked, "Can you stay a little longer? Just talk with me." She hesitated, then nodded. We sat on the couch, the sound of rain filling the silence. Conversation came slowly, but once it started, it flowed. She told me about her dreams, her struggles, how she had left her family behind to make a living. I shared things I hadn't told anyone in years, the loneliness, the emptiness, the feeling of being surrounded by people but never truly seen. Her eyes softened. "You don't seem like a man who should be lonely." I laughed quietly. "And yet I am." There was a pause. The kind that holds more than words ever could. Her hand, resting so close to mine, trembled slightly. Without thinking, I let my fingers. The warmth of that touch, it was like breathing after being underwater too long. I looked at her. She looked at me. The storm outside roared louder, but inside, there was only silence, only her eyes pulling me closer. Slowly, carefully, I leaned in. Our lips met, not in a rush, but in a gentle, questioning way, as if asking, "Is this real?" She answered by pressing closer. That kiss broke every rule, every line I thought mattered. But in that moment, none of it mattered. It wasn't about roles or titles. It was about two souls colliding in a house too empty for too long. The kiss deepened, filled with unspoken desire. My hand cupped her face, hers clung to my shirt. We pulled apart only to breathe, our foreheads resting together, hearts racing. "I shouldn't be doing this," she whispered. "Neither should I admitted. But I can't stop." And neither of us did. What followed wasn't rushed, nor careless. It was slow, tender, filled with both hesitation and hunger. Every touch, every glance carried weight. She wasn't just a maid in that moment, she was the woman who saw me, who made me feel alive again. And I wasn't just her employer, I was a man willing to risk everything just to feel her warmth. Later, as we lay together in the quiet aftermath, her head on my chest, I felt something deeper than passion. It was peace. It was connection. It was the sense that maybe, just maybe, life had brought her into my home not for the chores, but for me. Of course, reality didn't vanish. Morning would come, and with it, questions. Could we continue this? Should we? Society, rules, judgment, they all loomed over us. But as she lifted her face to mine and whispered, "Promise me this isn't just a moment," I knew my answer. "It isn't," I said firmly. "It's the beginning." And in her eyes, I saw the same truth reflected back. From then on, the house was no longer empty. It was alive, with laughter, with whispered secrets, with love that grew stronger every day. Yes, it was complicated, forbidden even. But love has a way of breaking barriers, of ignoring rules written by others. In her arms, I found more than comfort. I found home.